Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of OafDiscussions. I'm your host, Kid Swift. With me as always, Mr. Brent.
Doing it for the culture today.
Yeah.
Shayna.
Just be honest, all these girls look like a Build-A-Bay.
And Webb.
It looked like he died, and it's like, well, I don't care.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of OafDiscussions. I am your host for this week, Mr. Webb, Thoroughbred Webb, whatever Webb you know me as, and our de facto host, Mr. Kid Swift, will not be in attendance this week. He is currently still in Gotham City recording a wedding. Hopefully he hasn't been held hostage by the Penguin. As you all might recall from the last episode, he mentioned having to go back and forth between two different cities as far as filming this wedding, and I think the honeymoon too. You probably need a premium account for that one. And Mr. Brent may be joining on later in this call, or later on in this episode, I should say. With that being said, as far as what we got going on today, this is going to be a light episode, obviously, with just one person, so I don't want to look like I'm talking to myself too much. I already do enough of that in the shower. And let me go through this list. Yeah, it's a short list. I don't know why I'm sitting there acting like I'm thumbing through it. All right. For the first time on Thursday, we went on we as in my company, or the company I work with, our department, I can't even remember what it was that we were celebrating. I think it was something regarding production numbers or something along those lines. It happened so long ago, and they've been pushing this back for the longest that I don't remember what it was for. But anyway, we apparently did such a good job. They decided to give us half a day off to kind of fuck around. So we ended up going to Malibu Jack's. This is the first time I've ever been there. It's kind of simple. For those that aren't familiar with it, it's kind of like similar to like a Gaddy Town or a Champs or a Chuck E. Cheese or something along the lines, except it has like a indoor roller coaster, laser tag, and putt-putt golf, etc., etc. Didn't know exactly what to expect going in there as far as the amount of money and the rechargeable cards that they had going on for us. It felt a little like it was money well spent, it felt like, and we actually knew exactly how much we had compared to with Dave & Buster's, how you kind of get through eating and then when it's time to play games, you didn't realize how much you spent. We did a laser tag and putt-putt golf, and as soon as I ran out of money on my rechargeable card, I dipped. It ain't like I didn't want to interact with the co-workers, it's just after playing games, there was only so much I can do, and it's not like I interact with y'all clocking in and clocking out anyway, so I decided to stay in character and just kind of look like a lone wolf. I'm still obsessed with Solver. I know y'all are probably getting tired of me talking about it week in and week out, but it's gotten to the point where I'm just obsessed with it, especially I've never been so excited about getting my ass whooped and then learning from it and then trying to correct the mistakes I made and go from there. It's combining video games and martial arts in such a way that's what got me so invested in it. And with that being said, this previous weekend on Saturday, there was like a actual tournament going on, and it was like a fan-made tournament. It wasn't by the developers or anything like that. And they kind of had it was just a European division that I was looking at and watching them play. And that was interesting, especially the strategy and the moves that were being repeated by these, for lack of better words, experts. These are people that are way, way higher level than I am. And it's going to take maybe at least 6 months to a year before I get to that level, depending on how diligent I am in playing this or how much free time I'm allowed on the PlayStation before bedtime. Also, speaking of video games, I finally got a chance to download Dead by Daylight as well as Mafia 3. Now, if you have to mess with Dead by Daylight, I want to wait till the weekend to play with that. Also to kind of have the wife watching with me to kind of get like a horror movie hide and seek vibe going about it. And that's pretty much exactly what the game is. It's like a horror movie version of hide and seek. You got 5 or a number of human characters that are running away from a monster, and you all get to take turns as far as which character you get to play, whether it be the monster or the survivors, and you all try to find your way to escape without the monster coming to collect you. And it's an online game I've been seeing a lot on Twitch, and now I finally get a chance to actually test it out myself. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully I can get Kid Swift and Mr. Brent to join along this weekend for that. And also with Mafia 3, I've been hearing mixed reviews with this game, and I think the funniest part I made a joke about with Kid Swift was that it's been getting bad ratings because you actually get to kill the Ku Klux Klan in this. And I made a joke, but I haven't played it, and I didn't realize how true that was as far as being able to kill Klansmen. And obviously, this is taking place in the South and taking place at the 50s or 60s, and so of course the hard R was going to be flying around. So it was kind of it wasn't really unnerving to kind of see video game characters sitting there just throwing nigga around like it was the opposite of GTA 5. But it was just kind of like, man, I live in the South. It's like, why I gotta have a reminder of what's going on here, or what used to happen around here. Hell, it still happens around here. It's kind of fun. As far as the controls, it's kind of tricky compared to, I'm trying to go back and forth between GTA 5 and Mafia 3. Oh, hold on, we got a new challenger. Hey, yo. Testing, can you hear me? You live on the air, can you hear me?
A few moments later.
LL.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, finally, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, man. What's
music off in the background.
Yeah, no copyright strikes, yeah.
Right.
I was about to say, man, did you really put me on hold music for a second there?
Alright, what's going on, man?
How you doing, good sir?
Man, are we recording right now?
Yeah, we are live. I was actually in the middle of recording, and I thought it was going to be a solo episode, but now you can't.
I'm not gonna let you down. Man, I'm glad to be back. How about I say that? Hello, everybody. I'm back from the abyss. I wasn't in the sunken place. I'm waiting on a grade to come in. Like, I'm waiting on one more grade to come in, and I'll know if it'll be official that I got my master's.
All right. How much? What's the turnaround time on that?
How much? What?
What's the turnaround time on getting that grade?
I don't even know. They didn't put no time. One teacher did it in 2 days. My other teacher, they a little bit more. I don't know what to say, but they ain't give no time. So I'm thinking probably like Wednesday. For real. I'm thinking about Wednesday. Maybe Thursday they'll have it done, because they are grading like a 12-page paper or something like that. And I figure most people probably dropping them 10 to 12-page papers, so it might take them a little bit.
All right then, fair enough. How you been, man?
Oh, my bad. How I been?
Yeah.
Man, everything's good. Like, had a wonderful weekend. Like, my nephew was in town, finally done with homework, so we got to like really kick it. He spent the night this weekend. We even, like, yesterday went out to eat with some of the other family members. My aunt pulled a power move on us and was like, yo, I got the whole check. If my nephew is graduating with a master's, I got the whole check. So she like did that at Cheddar. So I guess she was like low key stunting.
Mm-hmm.
But she, you know how you like ask somebody like, hey, you want to roll out somewhere, and they be like, yeah, I don't really got no money, right?
Right.
And you be like, you might have to hit on, you hit them with a joke like, you might be on the kids menu, but come on out. Yeah, she went from that to hearing that I was about to get my master's, and was like, I got the whole check. I don't know what to do with that, because I was a little puzzled. I was like, yo, I thought she didn't have no money. But then, went bowling. Me, my pops, mom, nephew went bowling. So that was a lot of fun. Put up the bumpers. And we didn't let him use the little rail thing. So he's like, yeah. So what I'm realizing is my nephew, he'll try to pick something up. And if it just seems heavy, he'll just be like, I can't do it, right? He doesn't put in the effort to actually see if he can pick it up. So he went to a bowling ball. They give you little kids bowling ball.
Right.
And my nephew's like, he's 4. And, he tried it. He, touched it. And then, he acted like he kind of lifted it. He was like, it's too heavy. I can't do it. And then, I waited, 40 seconds, a minute, came back and was like, here's your bowling ball. I was like, you got it? He was holding it in his hand. And I was like, all right, now just throw it down that lane. And he did that, and he was perfectly fine. I guess he forgot that it was too heavy for him.
Yeah.
So I got to remember to use, like, Jedi mind tricks on him just to, like, make sure that he's trying and not just thinking, like, I ain't got no strength.
Yeah. I'm just gonna get by off the bare minimum. That's all it is. I think he's already figured it out.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He could coast if he wants to, and I'm pretty sure, you know, grandmother, granddaddy, you know, they'll spoil him like, you know, a lot of grandparents do. But I'm the uncle that's sitting there like, nah, you're not just getting your way every time. Now you gotta earn these toys and gifts and things like that. Like, money ain't growing off trees. All right, I love you, but you gotta put in the work like everybody else to get your rewards. So I realized that's me as the uncle. So I'm gonna be loved, and there's part of me that might be disliked at times, but there needs to be a balance. And besides that, man, I was kicking it with Jacob Jedi and Kim.
Mm-hmm.
I know everybody hasn't heard them in a million years.
Quite a while.
Yeah, and you know, Kim read me my life back. I felt like I was like one step away from getting the question of like, what is your 5-year plan? So if she hears this, hopefully this makes her laugh.
Yeah, she hit you with those grandparents questions.
Yo, she was dissecting. She was dissecting my my what would you call it? Love life. She was dissecting my love life. So that was interesting. You know, that was interesting. You know, some of that I had to take on the chin. Other parts I was like, whoa, what are we talking about here? But so that was real interesting. And man, everything else has been good. Video games are coming up. I got everybody playing Overcooked 2. Absolver was fun. I almost beat that game in a day or a night with you.
Did we actually talk about? Yeah, we kind of did. We talked about that on last time.
Y'all talked about it. I went on that episode. Like, I was been doing homework every episode, and I was at a family reunion.
Okay.
No. I was recovering from a family reunion. That's why I missed one of the episodes. Okay.
That's coming back to me a little bit. I thought we had breezed about it instead of talking about that little kid that was helping out as well.
No. Well, that was you and G. I hadn't been on in like the last 3-4 episodes.
Yeah, I was trying to do the math. No, I was trying to talk. Well, okay. No, I'm sorry. I figured out what it was. We were messaging.
Know who the kid is, but
we were messaging.
The kid,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't like his voice, and he was a good kid. I mean, as far as I can tell, he was a good kid. But that's why I didn't say much. I thought he was your friend, and I didn't want to be rude or not be polite.
As far as PlayStation goes, yeah, he was a friend, but I mean, like, yeah, I didn't.
But no, I thought you like knew him, and then I realized, like, no, this was like pretty much a stranger outside of the context of this video game. Like, he's a complete stranger. But don't get me wrong, I'll take aid wherever it comes from. You know, I just wanted to put my hands on folks, and in the video game, and that's what I did. I put a lot of hands on folks, and the bosses weren't that challenging.
That's good. Well, that's interesting.
To me, but maybe that's because I love fighting games, and like I'm used to games like your Demon Souls, Dark Souls, you know, some of your Metrovania, where you like if you make one mistake, that could cost you your whole life. But this one, it was like you figured the pattern. Like basically, I go into a game, I figure the pattern out first, and then like I adjust from there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, you hit me with it. That makes sense. God damn, dude.
My bad. Well, it wasn't to you. That was to the audience. You know what I'm saying? That's to the audience. You know,
it's like, damn, you sound like one of my supervisors.
I'm a little bit off my podcast game. So, yeah, man, everything's good. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing for Labor Day. I got to do a trip. I might just go skydiving if I can schedule that in a couple weeks. But I don't know. I might go to Toronto or something. Like I'm trying to figure out a nice little trip where I can go and just for a weekend kick back, put my feet up, enjoy some city life. You know, I guess I got to put my feet down for that. But Yeah, what's up with you?
Nothing much, man. I was just rambling, talking about how my week was. First time going to Malibu Jack. Didn't know what to expect for real, but.
What'd you think? Because I just went Saturday.
Excuse me. It was decent. I don't know. It was just kind of weird because I went on a work trip. It was kind of like a half a day for our department. And we all went together and like a group, like we kind of split up after lunch. And the group I was with, we went to do laser tag and then we did putt-putt golf. And then with the remaining amount of money we had, we just messed around at the arcade.
Okay, so I went with a buddy turned 30 and he wanted to go to Malibu Jacks. Which is a place that in my head I would not pick. Not because it's not a decent place, but because I think of Malibu Jacks as like kids and family time, right?
Yeah.
That's how I view it. Because it's got the go-karts, your laser tag, all that putt-putt. So we went. Because he was like, yo, it's the only place that we could go, do all those things in the same place. Main event doesn't have go-karts. So we, I think it was like 6 of us. Him, his chick, and then, a bunch of the buddies. So we show up. First thing happened was competitive stuff started getting talked. So then it was like, yo, I'll beat you in the shootout. I'll beat you in the skee ball. I'll beat you in this. So it turned into carnival games competition. And it was our first time meeting his girlfriend. So I was trying to slightly be on decent behavior. Decent behavior, like to make a decent impression about somebody. But with all my homies there, I'm also not gonna I'm gonna run it. I'm gonna talk trash like I normally do. Everybody knows I'm a competitive person, all that type stuff. But I'll try to leave him alone because you don't want nobody keep trying to punk you. You know what I'm saying? Like talking trash, and it could sound like somebody's trying to punk you in front of your woman. Nah, we don't want that. I try to be considerate. Plus you can't lose in front of your woman.
I mean, you can, but
it's an old rule.
that's going you're gonna get looked differently, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't supposed to lose in front of your woman. So, I know now that a person has to go that much harder to beat me. So it could be a win-win for them, or it could be, a lose-lose. You get beat on your birthday and in front of your woman, and all that type of stuff. But I'm not gonna So he was holding his own. I'll just say that for him. But anyway, Malibu Jacks ended up being actually fun. Laser tag was cool. It was actually very cool. We were talking mad. No. It was a couple of us talking. No, that's not true. I was talking reckless. I was telling everybody I want all of the smoke. So our teams was uneven. So basically it felt like they separated white family over there, black group over here, right? But what ended up, I looked up, I was like, oh, it's another little black family. Their little black group was over with the white family, right? So I was like, okay, it's not even.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm talking to my group, and I'm like, I want all the smoke. I don't want it to be even. Let them be. You know what I'm saying? I don't need no more people on our team, just us. Well, when we walking out the thing, the dudes was like, y'all gonna get beat. Y'all gonna get beat. Yada yada yada. We about to spank y'all. We go in the little thing. We beat them by 15,000 points.
Wait, what?
In laser tag. We beat them by 15,000 points.
How does... Okay. Were they kids?
Nah, these high school kids. Well, there was high school kids, and there was 3 kids. Because the white family was a dad, and he had a couple teenagers and 2 or 3 little kids. They might have been under the age of 8. The rest of them were all high school teenagers.
Sure they were.
I mean, they could have been just short, adults, but I think they were all high school teenagers. They had the swag of high schoolers.
Oh, did they enforce the rules with y'all as far as don't follow or don't what?
Yeah, I mean, well, they said the rules to us. The little kids kept following me.
Yeah, man, I've had that same fucking problem. I was sitting there, I was ready to kick these little niggas, but I'm sorry. Go ahead.
put my paws on nobody because I've gun butted somebody before in a laser tag. Don't worry about that now. That's happened before. Check the old episodes.
Okay.
But I've gun butted somebody before, but they snuck up on me and spooked me, and my reaction was defense for real. Like I did it without thinking. They got gun butted.
Okay. We'll believe you this episode.
Yeah, I gotta remember which episode that was, but yeah, I did gun butt a kid before, but not because I was just trying to be rude and was like, I'm gun butting kids so I can shoot them. Like, nah. We did walk up on somebody and hit them with the run that like you know how Metal Gear video games you can pop up on an enemy and they'll put their hands up and freeze.
Yeah. And
Metal Gear, you can point the gun at them and they'll start doing the shake a shakedown. Yeah, we did that to somebody though. That was funny.
You strip them down?
No, we ain't stripping down, man. We ain't there. We ain't
Tell them run it,
man. It's run that shit, run that stuff, bro. Little homie, run that stuff. And then shot him in the back of the pack and then walk home.
Oh wow.
I think that was family. I think there was some family stuff. I think we had a time when they was letting our family just play by ourselves. So we was a little bit more reckless. But yeah, we beat them by 15,000. At one point in the thing, I heard one of my buddies in the background saying, I want all the smoke. I want all of it. Pusha T came to mind. Because every time I think of I want all the smoke, I think of the line where he's talking about how dare you use Kanye.
Oh yeah, it's part of this. Is I want all the yeah. I want all
that's
the curses.
What I think of. Yeah, that's what I think of when I say I want all the smoke. How dare you go for anybody else? I want it all. And that's what I heard from my buddy. It was that same tone. It was I want all the smoke. And I only imagined him saying that and just shooting people, picking people off.
Or getting picked off.
Lone Survivor. He's just up there sniping cats. I want all the smoke. And people are just I don't know where he is. And they just keep dying.
So you just follow the voice. What are you doing?
You know what I'm saying?
It ain't that foggy in here.
Off all the rooms. Look, as it echoes off all the walls. I want all the smoke. He's everywhere.
So that fog machine ain't that damn heavy. Come on now.
But yeah, Malibu Jacks ended up being a lot of fun. Seeing my internet connection. Can you still hear me clear?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So, Malibu Jacks ended up being cool. I would definitely take my nephew there. But I realized when I get me and the boys, when we all together, even my homie's chick, she jumped into some of the competitiveness. It ended up being a good time. And then I messed up and didn't make it out that night because I fell asleep after I did homework.
You getting old, ain't you?
I'm saying it on here. Hey man, Saturday night was crazy. I left my keys. I locked my keys inside the house. I didn't know that until 6 hours later when I'm coming back from Malibu Jacks and me and my homies coming back and I can't get in. So I called my peoples. One of my peoples got my spares. My peoples have the spare in their car at their job in Indiana.
Oh.
Yeah. And they were like, it's in the car, you can get it. And I'm like, the key to get in the car is on the rings, which I lost. So I backtracked all my steps that for the day up until the last time I remembered having them. And that took an hour and a half. And then called another buddy. A buddy got my other key set. Apparently he was playing video games.
Well, sound like
and didn't see the message, but finally, he answered, and I got to get my spares, make it back in, do my homework. It's 12 o'clock, and then my homie's like, "Yo, you coming out or what? I'm waiting at the door for you to get here." And it was one of the moments I was like, I need to sleep for a moment, but I also need a shower before I go out. And I was like, you know what? Just 10 minutes real quick. I just need to power up one more time. I need a sensu bean, and I'll be good. Woke up at 6 a.m.
Well, all right then. I mean, yeah, that's a power nap if I heard one.
Yeah, it was powerful. It was powerful. But what was you talking about? Were you just going through the intro? How you been?
Yeah. After Malibu Jack, I mentioned still messing around with the Absolver, just getting obsessed with it, and just the fact that just I got so much to learn compared to running across all these experts and whatever on 1v1. And it is enlightening. I've never been so happy to get my ass whooped and then to just pick up from where we left off and go from there. And I actually even watched a European tournament that took place Saturday. And of Absolver, yeah. It wasn't like Evo or nothing like that. It was like a fan made or community made tournament that they had going on. And they had they had some kinks to work out, but other than that, everything went off without a hitch. If they can get the developers to make like a spectator mode or something like that, that would probably be a lot better for people watching it to kind of get an idea of what to expect.
That would. Yeah, I like when games put a spectator mode or a esports mode kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or even like fighting games now, you can go into a lobby and watch everybody fight. Like you don't even sometimes have to participate. Like you could just watch. DBZ, that game is making me want to get it. I've been watching videos and little tournaments on that, and I love Marvel vs. Capcom. That 3-on-3 hyper, super fast, combat. Like it's like part Street Fighter, part Marvel. Marvel vs. Capcom was all Marvel vs. Capcom, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you got a combo system of a Street Fighter, and I've been thinking about just going ahead and buy that game. I want Injustice 2, but this DBZ is looking it's looking good right now.
Yeah. Well, I got Injustice, so I can do that share play with you. See how you feel about it. Go from there.
Hey, just say whenever. Whenever. I'm always down I say I'm always down, but I wasn't. I didn't have the time to play video games. I'd be like, I'm always down. And they'd be like, yo, you ready to play? I'd be like, I got to do homework. Just let me know, for real. Just, if you see my name pop up or whatever, just let me know. Because typically, I'm probably BSing or jumping on GTA just to, we got to level you up in GTA.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of like online play too, I was mentioning how I ended up getting Mafia 3 and Dead by Daylight, and I was gonna wait on Dead by Daylight for y'all two, you and Kid Swift, later this weekend.
What is that? What is that game? Like, is it multiplayer? Is it single player?
Yes, it's multiplayer. It's like a horror movie hide and seek game. And
okay.
So I don't want to repeat. Yeah, I don't want to repeat it for the podcast, but I'll sit there and tell it to you. I'll sit there and send a link to you later, or go from there.
No, I got it. I downloaded it.
You just didn't know what it was.
I
okay.
download all the free games. I want all the free.
Fair enough.
I just download. I filled up my 2 terabyte hard drive.
Yeah,
so I had to start deleting stuff.
Yeah, but luckily you can at least, if you bought it or quote unquote own it, you can re-download it. So that's a blessing there. And plus, I got these external hard drives, but I tried to kind of just send them over there. But apparently, you got to format it a certain way, or otherwise, either that or download a specific app. And I'll just hold off on that one from there. And
I'll shoot you a link that's basically how to format it, because it takes like 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I still got stuff on those hard drives, so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, I would have went ahead and done it. So, but I figured it'd just be easier to just download it when I'm ready to play it and go from there.
That's true. I forgot that it does erase everything on there. Potentially, I think it still erases everything on there. Don't quote me, but I mean, unless you just gonna buy a whole nother hard drive.
I don't think
wait till they on sale. If you're gonna get a internal hard drive, or you can always grab one of those. It's like $40 to $60.
Yeah, yeah. I probably should have grabbed something during, when this Walmart up the street was closing. Had I thought about it.
Wait, y'all had a Walmart up the street closed too?
Yeah, yeah.
Yo, there was one out here that closed, and I'm mad that I didn't get the 70% sale. They had every video game 70% off.
Damn. Okay. Well, some of the stuff they had there I didn't care for. I probably should have tried again when it was 70% off and then 90% off to see what they had and what was still there. I might have grabbed Monster Hunter. I don't know for a fact though.
Look, you'd have got hangers.
Hey, I'm not gonna hangers. Hey, I need hangers for real.
Actually, I do too. Like,
while you sitting there throwing that joke out there, yeah.
I need to hang up.
Yeah, I'm sitting there. I'm getting tired of sitting there folding shit and then tossing it on the shelf because I got one hanger missing.
Shouts out to you having a shelf. Right now, mine's just get sometimes folded and put back in the hamper.
No, this is a bookshelf. This ain't like a shelf specifically for clothing. Nothing. This is
shout out to the bookshelf again. Mine's come out the dryer. They make it into the room, and then sometimes they get folded. Other times they get separated. Other times they don't get none of that. They just stay in the hamper. I just pull them out and go. Well, if I got to go to work, then I'm ironing. But
right. I ended up getting a steamer from there though during that sale. I think it was like the 50% off stuff. And like when you're in a hurry, yeah, a little steamer actually works pretty well compared to a iron where it takes a while. See, it's such a washed conversation right here. So they're talking about hangers and steamers. Yeah,
like, y'all ain't had no steamer in your life. Go get one. All right, I just bought a food chopper. You know why? I want to chop foods and veggies so I can eat healthier. There we go. It became a healthy podcast, just like that.
That worked out. Yeah, it's like health or home and health.
These are life hacks. We're gonna call these life hacks.
It works for me.
You know what I'm saying? You know, put your clothes on a hanger, put them in the bathroom with you. Go take a shower. Instant steamer. There you go. Life hack 101. You're welcome. My Kobe voice.
Have you heard anything this weekend as far as music?
No. Hold up. No. Everything I've listened to has been old. Yeah. I was looking at a Nicki Minaj video where she's like, it's a whole lot of sand.
It's a whole lot of what?
It was a whole lot of sand. Like, it was like almost like in a desert.
I thought you said sand for a second there. I was like, it's a whole lot of sands. It was like she had a Dragon Ball Z video?
No. Okay, so I've seen that. I've seen a lot of random videos. Like I don't know who the dude is, but he's like a black guy, and I guess he has like a whole crew, and it'd be like Naruto versus somebody. And they basically end up with like these weird, like a dance battle. And they do like all the most random dances.
That's funny. We were just talking about King Vader last week, and that's exactly who I was talking about.
Yo, like at first I thought they were stupid.
I mean, let's be honest, they kind of are. But it's a good kind of stupid.
I'm warming up to them.
It's a good kind of stupid.
Like, it's a good kind of stupid, but it's like, I'm warming up to them because they do like all the like random dances that I guess are the current dance moves that haven't been out. So when I go back out, I'm pretty sure I'm about to have a culture shock. Like, I got to learn new dance moves.
Oh, you know about the shoot, so you're probably all right then.
No, because I just had heard that song like 2 weeks, but like that week I had just heard the song, like finally listened to the song. Shoot, but I knew people like kick their feet, but I didn't know why. People, like, kicking their feet. It didn't make sense to me. And then there's like the little dance now where the person's like one arm's in front, and then like they alternate going front and back, like with the arms out. It reminds me of like the Deadpool dance or Spider-Man dance. They do it like Comic-Cons where it's like a line of them and they all just like do the shifting arms.
Yeah.
You can't see them. I'm over here like
I felt it. I felt that you were pantomiming. I couldn't tell, but I heard a little rustling, so I figured that's exactly what you were doing too.
Yeah. So what's it called? Pantomiming?
Pantomiming? Yeah, when you were acting it out.
Yeah, there we go.
Or charades, whatever. Yeah.
So so that was that. Like that was I've been watching it. What music have you listened to lately?
Okay, so on account of I didn't know if we were going to have a full episode or not, I was prepping myself for a solo episode. So I was trying to muster the courage or the stomach, actually, to listen to two artists that I've been trying to avoid for the longest. One being Trippie Redd with his album called Life is Trippie, or Life's a Trip, excuse me. And also Nicki Minaj's Queen, both which came out this weekend, or both to my attention, or both were brought to my attention this weekend. And I listened to Trippie Redd twice, and I don't think I'm going to be coming back to this as a whole. Like, there are some songs that were on there that was kind of interesting. Like, there was like two out of the, I think it was 17 tracks on that album. And there was only like 3 of them where he was actually rapping. And the others where he was, I guess you could call it singing. And I can't even call it singing. It was just like, it was like drunk karaoke. Actually, you know what? That's a redundant thing to say. It was pretty much like if somebody was in karaoke.
No, you can do karaoke without being drunk. Like that, there are some, because that's competitions. And most of the people that do the competitions, they ain't drunk.
Okay, I was about to say sober karaoke sounds kind of whack, if I'm being honest. But
no, but they got vocals, so.
All right, then. What's that? Okay, but to each their own.
Karaoke, that's cool.
To each their own. All right, but he kind of sounded like he was. Well, he definitely sounded like this was drunk karaoke, because when he would sing, he would sit there and do like this, and then like at the very end of whatever bar it is, he'll go, ah. I can't feel my face. 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 Oh, I shit you not. I shit you not. He was at the end of almost every other bar that he was singing. And I may have to splice it. I don't know.
Studio?
What's that?
Was he having a Quagmire moment in the studio?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, it's
Jeez,
all the effects and stuff that it sounds awful, but it is. And I don't know why I tried to add a disclaimer on that. But no, it was a lot of it was bad, and it was just kind of going like, well, hell, anybody could sing, or it's like that if that's what you call singing. And it was actually kind of interesting when he actually would rap, and I was thinking like, oh, well, shit, just keep doing this, and then the next song, back to that shit. So it's not for me. Singing, I don't feel like it's for him, for real. And I'd probably have to give. I'm not gonna give this a trash. I'm gonna have to give this a bronze. Just on account of
all that, it still got a bronze.
After all that, it still got a bronze because the songs where he was actually rapping. Let me see if I can pull that up. All right, this is on. Move this out of the way and let's pull that list back up. Life's a Trip. Now, I shouldn't like this song called Wish, where he was doing all that singing and doing that at the end, but it kind of grew on me, most likely because of this, because of Much Dank and his goofy ass video editing. And let me see, Missing My Idols caught me by surprise, where he was rapping and he was like kind of saying some shit that kind of was a lot more introspective than I expected from him. Well, actually, I take that back, not introspective, but a little bit more thought-provoking than I thought it would be.
Okay.
Let me see what else. Damn. See, I listened to it when I was helping out. Oh, yeah, another thing I forgot to mention. I was helping my wife out with her back-to-school stuff because she's teaching the same class, but they moved her to a different classroom. And so I had to help out with...
So she got the same students?
No. She got the same grade. But,
okay.
Yeah, she's still teaching the same grade. Like, I think 2 or 3 years ago, she was teaching kindergarten, but they moved her to first grade.
Oh, moving on up.
I guess I don't know if there was. I don't know if that's any. I don't know if that's any better. Yeah, I don't know if it was any better as far as having to deal with
stress.
Yeah. Well, honestly, it seems like it's more the parents that are the problem more than the kids.
Okay. Yep.
My
mom has the similar things because she used to do kindergarten. She's first grade last couple years, and I think they moved her to second or third grade now. So I hear more, like, the kids are wild, but she'd be like, the parents, though.
Right.
Like, someone want to, like the crazy things that come from parents,
Right. So, no, my kid's not stupid. Correct. You are. And you're not helping this kid.
The kid has a chance. You ma'am or sir.
You are holding this child back.
Yeah. And then I've heard stories. I don't know. Has she ever hit you with, like, give you glimpses of stories where it'd be like parents would, like, let's say a kid got into a fight with another kid, and the parents would send the kid with, like, maybe like some kind of weapon of some sort, or anything like that?
No.
Like,
do you have a story for that?
Situation. Huh?
I said, no. Do you got a story similar to that?
Not me personally. No, sir. I was a good kid.
Huh. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. Moving along.
No. I mean, my mom told me, like,
that's what I did.
Like a story.
My mom told me I did that.
No. My folks taught me, somebody put their hands on you, put yours back on them. I was taught growing up. So, apparently, like, some kid got into a fight, and they, parents found out about it. So the parents sent them to school with like it wasn't like a knife, or maybe it was a knife, but I want to say they sent them to school with, like, some kind of, like, blunt object. And let's just not say it was like anything that should have killed the kid, but let's say it was like a blunt toy, and they sent them to school with it so they could get back at them.
Like a T-ball bat or some shit?
Let's do something more handheld. What's smaller than that?
You said
like
it was a blunt object.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think
Nothing
of. Like
sharp.
Plastic.
But it was blunt.
Yeah, like something plastic.
Like a fucking slapjack? I don't like...
That works. We'll do slapjacks. Or like a paddle. Something like that.
Like a ping pong paddle or some shit? Or...
Yeah, we'll go ping pong paddle. Something like that. Like they sent them to school with something.
I'm trying to figure out what the hell this foreign object is, man.
I would have to ask her, like, again, and, I don't want to, this is all allegedly.
For the listeners of the podcast, what blunt, small instrument would you sneak into school to beat somebody up with? Let us know in the comments so we can figure out what the hell she was talking about.
Oh, goodness. That's going to be amazing.
But
going to be amazing.
But I digress. So there was a lot of songs that I don't remember the titles to, mostly because I had my phone in my pocket and was just listening on the headphones while I was organizing and decorating and all that good stuff. So I'm mad I can't remember the rest of these songs, but the ones that stuck out to me was Wish, Missing My Idols, which were back to back. And then there were two other songs in here that I don't remember the names of that caught my attention. And I was like, yo, I can fuck with these three songs, or these 3 or 4 songs. The rest of this album I'm good. So as I said, that gets a bronze. And the other album I tried to listen to when I was at that school,
you said Queen, right?
Was Queen by Nicki Minaj. Yes.
All right. So I've now listened to a few more tracks of it. The song that I seen the video for was Ganja Burns.
The very first track.
So there's a music video out for that, and it's just a lot of sand, all that. I'm not too particular on the beat, so I didn't finish the song. I didn't finish the video just because the beat doesn't like move me like that. I want to hear 4 minutes of that. But because I want to hear because you have a more complete opinion about this album. As of right now, Barbie Dreams.
Okay, that's what I wanted to. That's what I wanted to discuss. That was my main takeaway to discuss on this album. Because I'm gonna be honest, I didn't make it very far on this.
Yo, it's 19. It's 19 tracks,
yes.
And she's got features.
Yes,
like she's got Eminem, Labyrinth,
Foxy Brown.
Lil Wayne. Huh?
She even had Foxy Brown, but that's near the end, the second to last track.
Yeah, and I feel like I've heard that song before. Like,
Probably.
But it was like months ago. Let's see. Yeah, she got Foxy Brown. She got Future. Let's see. She got
Sway Lee.
Sway Lee. The Weeknd. Andrew. A Grande.
Ariana Grande. It's like get hip, old man. Come on now.
You know, A Grande.
Sound like you ordering from Taco Bell or some shit.
Everybody.
Hey, let me get a Grande number 7. Yeah. Okay, so as I mentioned, I didn't make it past. I don't think I made it past Hard White, which is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't make it that far on account of it was time to go, and I wasn't trying to listen to that on the way home. But the main takeaway, the only thing I really want to talk about this, I can't even I can't give it a rating because I haven't finished it, and honestly, I don't want to. I don't want to sit there and hurt myself for the podcast. I was gonna sacrifice myself, but I can't. No,
I'll listen to it.
I'll give
a rating for it next week.
I will do anything for love, but I won't do that. I can't finish Queen. I'm sorry. All right, so Barbie Dreams.
You just don't like Nicki?
No, not at all. We've kind of went in depth on this, or we've sprinkled this topic every now and then on previous episodes, and it's just I can't.
What makes you what turns you off to Nicki the most?
Besides the fan base.
Besides the fan base.
All right, so besides the fan base.
Well, no, we'll say fan base first. All right, so what is the other thing?
All right, so besides the fan base. I'd have to say with like pretty much some of the rhymes that she kind of puts off and puts out there, it just kind of come across really elementary. Okay. Especially the ones that she felt like is like, yo, this was such a dope ass bar. I'm gonna tweet it out and get a whole bunch of retweets for it and have a lot of people say yes, Queen for me. And it's just like, that's not it, man. And just listening to some of those, and it's like some of those bars is kind of like a lack of too many yes men around her or yes women around her, and not kind of going like, hey, you may want to redo that line, or you may want to come back on that line. And she doesn't look like she takes that criticism well, and the Barbies kind of enable that behavior.
Sure.
So it's the Barbies is number one reason. 2 is the bars that she be spitting a lot of times. And 3, that lack of accountability, for lack of better words.
Okay. So let me ask you another question then.
All right.
How do you feel about 2 Chainz in his bars?
He is actually starting to grow on me. Ironically,
because
I see where you're going with this, but I'm sorry. Go ahead and make that statement.
No, because I think you see where I'm going with this. Because in my head, that was the quickest comparison I can make when it comes to people who have, let's say, rudimentary bars, but yet hype. It becomes a hype about it, but they're still like rudimentary bars at times. And I'm not saying all 2 Chainz bars are rudimentary, but I'm saying like. He definitely does dumb it down his raps, for sure.
Right.
Because he's definitely a lot smarter than how he raps. Like, he's definitely 100% a lot smarter than how he raps.
And he'll actually surprise you with some of the bars that he has. And he'll actually surprise you. Like, as a matter of fact, he fucking ate Eminem on his own song on Revival. Let me see. What was the Chloroseptic was the song. He fucking ate Eminem on that verse. And I mean, granted, that could just be because this is post Eminem show, Eminem post recovery, etc. But anyway, as far as with 2 Chainz, I don't think anyone has ever heralded him or crowned him as the dopest MC in his genre, whether it be his gender, whether it be his region, whether it be his style or anything of that nature. And with Nicki, she's been heralded just because there's been a lack of mainstream female artists or female rappers that have been out and about. But there's a changing of the guard now with Rhapsody to a certain extent. Or Missy Elliott was kind of coming back. There's a chick named 3D Nati who's been kind of bubbling on the underground, and she spits crazy.
I'm gonna have to listen. I didn't know about this 3D Nati. I'm gonna have to download some stuff.
There's Remy Ma's out of prison, and she's been killing it as far as the songs that she's been doing lately. Is coming back into the mainstream. Fucking Cardi B has been out and about, and she's been, people fucking love her, like in and outside of music. And so there is now a changing of the guard, and it's funny how it seems like everybody's starting to pile on Nicki, but it's just more along the lines of, as we mentioned in the last episode, it's just kind of going like, you've been on McDonald's for so many years that, oh, wow, there's all these other restaurants that suddenly are opened up or suddenly they've been brought to my attention that I'm mad that I haven't had a chance to sit there and just go out as much to enjoy that, or I'm just now being put on to it. And it's just kind of going like, nah, there's no reason I should be going back to this meal, and kind of go from there. And as far as comparing 2 Chainz and Nicki, I can kind of see where you were going with this, but as far as
I just can only compare them on if you say sometimes rudimentary bars, that their fan bases are totally different. And
very.
2 Chainz is like they're completely like 2 Chainz still has Titty Boy fans. You know what I'm saying? Like people who remember he was Titty Boy
in DTP days, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he, you know what I'm saying? If he was going to say, like, outside of rap, I don't think he's ever saying, like, he's the GOAT of rap. I think he's just one of those people that's like, he's been in it for so long, he just still loves being relevant and still doing the craft or the artistry of rap. Nicki, I'm waiting on Nicki to just become an actor. That's what I'm waiting on.
Have you seen anything?
She apparently went to school for acting and all that, and all her personas is a character. So, like, I'm waiting on her to become an actor. Now, I don't know what kind of actor she would be, but hopefully she doesn't become like the ditzy chick in every movie. Maybe she can be like, who was I thinking? Dang it. She was just in the movie, Queen Mary. What was it? Something Mary. Black chick.
Proud Mary?
Proud Mary.
With Taraji?
Yeah.
Really?
She could do something like that.
Oh, wait. No,
I don't think she's got the acting job.
Oh, okay. I thought you said she was in the movie.
No. I want to see her do something like different that's like a little bit of the mold breaker from just being like a background scene or popping bubble gum because she's like a cute face in a background or just a dumb chick.
Barbershop. Barbershop 3. I forgot. I was trying to remember what the hell was the movie she actually was in that I know about. And there was Barbershop 3. I think there was a second movie, but I can't for the life of me think of it. And it's not like I was waiting on to see a movie because of her. So there's that.
Right. So I want to see if she can really act, like for real act, or maybe she should do plays. Like I want to see, like.
Are you trying to get her like Mos Def all of a sudden, having her on Broadway and shit?
Yeah. Oh, what if Nicki really could do Broadway? That would be crazy.
I would commend her if she could pull that off.
That would be crazy. I don't know how her vocals are, but.
Oh, I mean, like,
okay,
yeah.
Like for Broadway, you got to have like a different kind of vocals. You know what I'm saying? Like
to be able to project in such a short, like in such a large room without a microphone, like a straight up microphone mic in your hand, and to do that on a almost
nightly basis or twice, 3 times a night.
Yeah. Who's to say? So as far as I cannot give Queen a rating other than DNF, which as people that have ran track may know those initials, did not finish.
eventually either I made it to the song right before that. I was on the 5th song. I was trying to hear this Lil Wayne verse. Typically he doesn't. I figure him on Nicki tracks, he don't. I hope he doesn't disappoint me with the verse. But I'm gonna give the album a shot, and I'll give it a rating next week because I've listened to all the other albums, and I'll do the suffering for the podcast. All right.
Well, we appreciate that.
I'll do this. I mean, it might turn out to be a surprise to me. Like, it's 19 tracks, so
I hope so.
We're gonna see. Because I'm a grade. I mean, she's gonna get graded the same way I grade everything else. Harsh.
Yeah.
19 tracks, like.
Already strike one.
If it's gonna become a classic or not? Like, we're gonna see.
That's already strike one for you.
Ready. Huh?
I said that's already strike one for you. 19 tracks.
No, but with 19 tracks, like for me to really feel like your album was really good, like 3/4 of it has to be like good or solid where I don't want to skip it. Right?
Yeah.
Like with more tracks, it means that I have more stuff to grade and judge and see how I feel overall. If you have 7, that's really short, and each one of them have to be like more impactful. With 19, how many skits? Because I throw the skits out. Because like if you have skits, I throw those out because I'm gonna listen to them one time. But if I know there's a skit, I'm gonna skip it the next time I listen to it, right?
Yep.
So I take those out. I throw those out.
Well, I ain't gotta worry about it in this one.
I'm judging whatever's not skits and actually like content of the rest of the album. So,
I will give this album cover a gold though.
Oh, shouts out to the album cover.
Yeah, shouts out to the album cover.
Okay, so peep this. So when I realized this song existed and it showed the album, like I seen the album cover.
Yeah.
I had walked into a Walmart, and you don't have to answer or respond back to this, but I'm gonna ask this to the audience, to everybody listening. Have you ever walked in somewhere and seen somebody with somebody's? Are we cussing today or not?
I'm pretty sure I already have at some point.
Okay, so have you seen somebody whose ass is so big, so fat, or so nice, however you want to call it, that you realize that you're walking towards them and like you can't stop like avoiding eye contact with it, and like I looked around, like everybody was walking in this door with me, so it was like a bunch of people like walking with their significant others or maybe their booze or whatever, and it, like every guy was like trying to avoid like that area. Like everybody started getting fidgety, like everybody just started getting fidgety and everything. I even seen a few women got a little fidgety, like it was like that. And like I remember seeing the cover, and then I seen that lady, and I was like, shouts out to the cover and shouts out to the lady in turquoise.
Well then,
it was, yeah, like she had an apple bottom. She had an apple bottom.
You all right over there?
I don't have any else. There's no.
Oh, okay,
no,
I thought you were still. I thought you were daydreaming about it. I didn't know what was going on out there.
No, we're moving on, man. I've seen some asses in my life, so that, you know.
I've seen some asses in my day.
Some are not. You know, it is what it is.
All right then. All right, we'll move along from there. All right, so
all sleazy on the podcast, like nah. I've seen some in my life. I've acted like I've been there before. It was just one of the moments. Like I remember seeing the album cover, and then I seen that, and I was like, today's a good day. Today's a good day.
You ever seen an ass make you turn into Ice Cube all of a sudden? Yo.
I didn't have to use the AK.
Oh man. Jesus.
Oh, I can't do the rest of the song because it ain't gonna sound right.
Okay,
right.
Fair enough. Yo, this is supposed to be a light day. I only had one more topic for this episode, unless you wanted to add something else. And it's kind of a double header. It's
what you got?
Okay, so actress by the name of Ruby Rose has been cast as Batwoman for the new CW show that will be coming out soon. And she is, or Ruby Rose is a Australian actress who I didn't know about her until I had to backtrack and go, oh, the Justin Bieber looking chick that was in John Wick 2. And
so that's where you Orange is the New Black is where I ran into her.
Well, see, that's what I saw after the fact on this other article that I'll mention later. And so, so I didn't realize that was, it was like, oh, okay, I could see her pulling that off, especially being, this being a gay character and her being an actress in the LGBT community. And that would be an interesting casting.
Where you was going with that. I was like, please don't call her a character.
Oh, well, I didn't even realize what I said right there. I was sitting there trying to be careful with my wording too. So I was so careful that I didn't even pay attention to what the hell I said. I was trying to focus.
You did it perfect.
You did it perfect. All my brain was focused on was the shit not to say while I was talking about it. And it's like, don't get problematic.
I was about to start putting like just a whole blockout sound effect and like,
hey, we can
do it.
We can edit and post. We good. No. We can edit it and post. But no, so my takeaway from this before this article that came up was, here we go again, another Australian, another fucking Aussie taking superhero roles from Americans. Because first we sit there and we can't have Thor, we can't have Wolverine, who's fucking Canadian. So we couldn't even.
I was like, it's not even.
So yeah, we can't even keep our North American heroes going. And so, hold on, Hugh Jackman, Chris Hemsworth. Hold on, I had a list. I should have wrote it down. Damn, what's another Australian that played?
No, he's not Australian. Who's Australian?
Yeah. Who's an Australian actor that plays a superhero? That is I am drawing a blank all of a sudden. Jai Courtney pretended to be Australian, correct? For Suicide Squad. And technically I was a villain, but still.
Yes.
Okay, and yeah, Captain Boomerang is Australian anyway, so never mind.
You said Josh Gordon, right?
So I kind of contradicted myself. No, Jai Courtney. This actor who was in the most recent Terminator, not Rise of the Machines, what's it called? Genesis, yeah. That actor. So if he's American playing an Australian, I guess that kind of evens out only a little bit. So I just kind of contradicted my own point. So yeah, that was the joke I had for that kind of I just now deflated. But as far as this casting, I found it interesting, especially for her to be on, kind of be a big name as far as acting goes, to be in all these movies. Like she's in John Wick 2. I saw her in The Meg. I have yet to see The Meg, but I plan to at some point. Well, I'll probably just wait for Netflix or Redbox.
Well,
yeah.
But before you go through, Jai Courtney is he is from Sydney, New South Wales, Australia. So he is Australian.
Okay, so he was an Aussie playing an Aussie. So that worked out for him. So that's correct.
He's 1 year older than us.
Oh, why'd you say that? Damn. Why are you putting this out there like that? But nah.
27 years older than us. He's years.
Hell no. Okay, so as far as I mentioned, it's kind of interesting for her to kind of be in movies and on, Netflix, and then to suddenly go to the CW for a role. But hey, I mean, obviously it's steady work, and it's obviously going to be a big damn deal to where, not everybody can go to the theaters, but you can at least turn your channel to broadcast television, and there she is. So I'm very interested in seeing where this is going as far as this particular show. And if it's anything like the first couple seasons of Arrow, if it's anything like Black Lightning, if it's anything like the first couple of seasons of Flash or iZombie or any other DC, or hell, even to a certain extent, if it's better than Legends of Tomorrow, then they're already on the right track. So I got fingers crossed for the show and hope things pan out. Did you have thoughts? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm with you there. When I saw this pop up, I really wasn't mad. I did see that she was like from Australia, But when I look at a lot of these, like who they get, I look at like how much do they have like likeness, and how well could they pull it off. Mm-hmm. And when I was looking at like the photo of Batgirl or Batwoman, wait, it's Batgirl, right?
It's Batwoman. This is not.
Okay, no, so
Batgirl. Right. Yeah, this is not Barbara Gordon. This is not Cassandra Cain. This is damn. What was her actual? What is her damn name? And here, yeah, go ahead and go ahead and. No. Barbara Gordon is Oracle. She was Batgirl, then became Oracle. This is the third Batwoman. Let me pull the name back up. And while I'm pulling that name up, you go ahead.
Okay, I'll keep going. But so when I was looking at like the kind of like the likeness from a comics to or anime to her, they just did kind of like a steal by steal. I was like, okay, she's got the chin, she's kind of got that like facial feature, kind of like the body type for it. And I was just more impressed that they actually took a like actual person who's part of the community. Who's part of the community and is letting them flourish. You know what I'm saying? Like giving roles to people who identify more with the roles. Now, I don't know who were the other choices. Like without that, I can't say like, oh, who would have been a better fit. But I mean, that's who they're putting their money on. And now I'm really curious because I just read an article that Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy in a comic said that they are married or got married once.
You said in the comics at one point?
Mm-hmm. Well, no, it's a recent comic. Was it Orc and? Oh no, that's not her name. Two people were getting married, and Poison Ivy and why did I just forget her name?
Yeah. Well, the kind of, as I recall, actually, even as far back as the cartoon or the animated series for Batman, it was it was always hinted that Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn had something or had like something going on.
So in this comic, they were like the lady getting married or bride to be was like, I mean, have you ever wanted to get married or whatever? And then like apparently like Harley Quinn was like, oh yeah, there was that one time me and Poison was in Vegas, and at the end it was like, and we got married. So that was a long time ago. So they apparently did get married. They're not just like friends or lovers. They like at least at some point were married. They could still be married. I don't know. It didn't go into in depth about that. So I'm kind of curious. Like I want to see like a live thing with just Poison Ivy, like the different women. Like the Batwoman, Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn. Like I want to see a spin-off just of them.
Almost like a Gotham Sirens type deal. Like with
okay. Yes, that's actually what I want. Gotham Sirens. But
yeah. Okay, so yeah, it's not Cassandra Cain. It's not Barbara Gordon, as I mentioned earlier. So yes, it is in fact the other Batwoman that is Catherine Cain. This one being of Jewish descent and a lesbian. So that kind of works out. And the controversy behind this is what I also didn't realize was going to be a thing, but apparently it's the internet. Of course, there's going to be some controversy. So for the outraged as fuck portion of OAF discussions, Ruby Rose has actually deactivated her Twitter account due to the thousands upon thousands of criticisms, threats, etc., that has been directed towards her for being cast as Kathy Kane. And it's not about. Some people sitting there trying going like, well, I've been seeing complaints about her being cast as a Jewish person when she's not, and it's like, I've yet to see any of that. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It sounds like you're just making things up at this point. But the main controversy that has been pushing her, and she's even said it on her last statement before she got off of Twitter Twitter, was that people were criticizing her, specifically the LGBTQ community. Damn, that's a long word. It's a long ass phrase. But anyway, so that community had actually criticized her for not being gay enough for that role.
Yeah, I just read something on that. I was like, that doesn't make sense to me. But then again, when you say something like that, throw up 3 better options.
Say again?
I say if somebody says a sentence like that, throw up 3 better options. Like, and why does a level of lesbianness, like how does that factor in now? Like,
so how gay
what does
must
a person
you be?
have to do? Yeah, like how?
Like, yeah,
what levels does this person have to meet or check off?
Yeah, what stereotypes? Yeah, do you got to fill in?
Standard for them.
Yeah,
that's silly.
And I think, and the funny thing is like a lot of that criticism was kind of along the lines of the fact that she mentioned being gender fluid at one point. I should have looked up what that's supposed to mean, but I get.
You like what you like, so you could like guys, you could like women, you could like transsexuals. Like gender fluid is just like literally it's fluid. Like you can go from one to go. You can go at periods of time to different things.
Yeah. Audience, like, feel free to correct us if we're misspeaking. But as far as her mentioning gender fluid, I immediately thought of what she looked like in John Wick 2, and just kind of go like, okay, I could kind of see that. You know, kind of like bringing that androgynous 80s back type of vibe. So as far as I kind of got an idea of what she means when she says that. And on that statement before she left Twitter, she had mentioned about coming out as early as 12 years old. And according to some comments from people that support her, Australia is incredibly homophobic, almost on par with America. I don't know for a fact. If we have an Australian audience, correct us on that or enlighten us on that. And so it's just it's crazy as far as anything. It's like this is like the 3rd female that has been kind of shunned or drove off of social media over something that involves fanboys or fandom of some shit. And it's not even the fans of the source material this time around. Like the 2 people I was thinking of was Mary Tran from Star Wars. What was it? The Last Jedi was the most recent movie, correct? Yes, that was her. Yeah, yes. That was her. Yeah, they drove her off of social media for some bullshit like that. They drove off 11 from social media. That's a fucking kid, and y'all are fucking wilding.
When we finish this, I do got a comment on gender fluid.
Okay, all right then. And and here we go again with Ruby Rose in this instance, but it's not even people that are fans of source material or fans of a certain thing. It's just people that should actually have been supportive of her to begin with, but yet here they were driving her away.
Crabs in a bucket.
I guess so. All right, so what did you have to say, man, about gender fluidity?
So I misspoke. So I think I was talking about pansexuality or pansexual. So gender fluid is, from the Webster Dictionary, is relating to or being a person whose gender identity is not fixed. All right, so there's also people who identify as gender fluid, a mix of both genders, and may feel comfortable more male on some days and more female on others.
Okay, yeah. Okay, fluid. Yeah, flow, like water, as Bruce Lee would say.
Yeah, so let's see. Then the gender can have fluidity, which is quite different from ambiguity. Okay, yeah. So I wanted to drop that was Webster Dictionary and Urban Dictionary, just in case you know, people like to use that from Urban Dictionary. Gender fluid is a gender identity best described as a dynamic mix of boy and girl. A person who is gender fluid may always feel like a mix of the 2 traditional genders, but may feel more boy some days and more girl other days. Being gender fluid has nothing to do with which set of genitalias one has, nor their sexual orientation. That is from Urban Dictionary. So yeah, I wanted to clear that up because I rather we're gonna talk facts. Let me make sure I'm quoting my stuff.
Fair enough. Well, with that educational nugget out the way, did you have anything else to add to the episode, good sir, since you've been gone for so long?
Oh man, no, this was a good episode. I'm looking forward to seeing what Ruby's gonna do, because DC has. So this kind of reminds me of when Gal Gadot. I'm messing up everybody's name. Yep, Gal Gadot.
I could be doing that wrong too.
When she got cast for Wonder Woman.
Yep.
Everybody was at her neck, like she doesn't fit the part. She's not muscular enough. She's not toned enough. She's not tall enough.
I was one of those people. I was one of those people. Yeah, I was one of them. Yeah, so I was adamant about that for the first couple of episodes of Oath Discussions, as you all can backtrack to.
Yeah, and she's not American, right?
No, Israeli.
Okay, so you have another Israel. Oh, never mind. That doesn't mix the same way.
Yeah, Israel and Australia, they're the same, I think.
In my head, but I was like, no, we're talking two different things. That's why I stopped. So DC has not disappointed me yet on their casting.
You didn't have any. I was about to say. So you didn't have a problem with Jason Momoa as Aquaman, as that's the only main complaint I've seen from people. Okay, cool.
No, I actually don't. I think he actually looks great as an Aquaman. Will he have the chop? Like, he was actually funny, but like, I'm curious, will he have the chops to deliver his own movie when that comes out? Because him and the big movie, I mean, they had 8 different stars of the movie, and everybody needed to have a piece of screen time. Like, I don't consider that like his coming out party. Like, his movie coming up, he's gonna have to show that he can be full-fledged Aquaman. Like, I think he looks the part of Aquaman, but that's just me. I mean, unless they like cut his hair, but I think he looks the part of Aquaman, and I don't know who else they could have got like in my head that would have like kind of fit that body type and has a name.
Yeah, I mean, they could have got some blonde dude. Who knows?
But Jason, he's already a hit from the dude only was in like 8 episodes of Game of Thrones, and everybody acts like the dude's been on there for 10 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Like
they probably also recognize him from Stargate.
That's true. So I mean, he's got a cult following, and he's already part of like that sci-fi universe, that type of universe. So
and one time he was Conan the Barbarian at one point.
You see what I'm saying? So why not be Aquaman? Like, nobody's ever done like there's not been a Aquaman like this before. So he still has to prove himself, because I was a little iffy on Ben Affleck, and then I ended up loving Ben Affleck as a Batman. Yeah. So, like, DC hasn't disappointed me recently, or at least as far as I can remember right now, in their choices of who they've been choosing.
Had to add that little asterisk on that.
Yeah, just in case. Like, because I'm pretty sure something bothered me. Something bothered me, but they proved me wrong. So, I'm gonna chalk this up to DC might see something or know something that we don't know yet. Because I did not think Wonder Woman was gonna come. You know what I'm saying? Wonder Woman was gonna be the success and look so like, like it aligned so smoothly. I didn't think that was gonna happen either. So. But yeah, that's all I got to add to the thing. You want me to sign off?
You know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 107. This is the
107
of Oaf Discussions. If you had questions, comments, and concerns, by all means, feel free to let us know at oafdiscussions@gmail.com. Once again, oafdiscussions@gmail.com, oafdiscussions.com. to catch any and all links to us individually, as well as to listen to each and every episode. Catch us on any and all podcast platforms with the exception of SoundCloud. We are looking into doing that. No clue as to whether we're going to follow through with that. By all means, catch Kid Swift at KN Kid Swift on Twitter, at future_ASC on Instagram. Mr. Brent, your socials.
My social is 1234576329191. If that doesn't work, you can find me at.
No, go ahead. Yeah,
if that doesn't work, you can find me at LLCoolB22. That's LLCOOLB22. That's pretty much all social media. We can talk. We can rap about whatever. You can tell me how you feel about this new Nicki Minaj album, and I'll make sure I talk about it on the next podcast, and I'm gonna listen to it. We can chat about whatever. I'm back. I'll be on the scene again. I'm looking forward to interacting with everybody in the Facebook group, the OAF Discussion Facebook group, and also online. So, Webb, yourself.
Catch this webbing, Webb859 on Twitter, Webb.859 on Instagram. I honestly admit I haven't been on there as much as I should. I will try to at least post something once a day on both the OAF Discussions Instagram as well as my Instagram as well. Ladies and gentlemen, as we mentioned, this is episode 107. Thanks for listening. Y'all have a good night. Peace.
Till the next time.
I was wondering where you were going to come in. I thought you had just signed off before I had
No.
stopped recording.
I was going to say something in Japanese, and I was like, I'll wait till next episode.
Problematic.
I'm about to learn
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been OAF Discussions. Please listen to us on Podbean, iTunes, Google Play now, Stitcher, audio episodes on YouTube as well. And so that's all we have today. Thank you very
guys.
much for listening, and you enjoy the rest of your day.
Appreciate it. Peace.
There we are. OAF Discussions Pioneers.
Quickly.
Confirmed.
Make the meme and then put the big thing on there with the stupid little graphic like every other goddamn internet comedian does. We got to get these views, baby.